So we're done. I've got all of my hops loaded up in the little hops container. In here, in case you're curious, I have the 0.22 ounces of Magnum and 0.35 of the Hallertauer that was left over from something else. I have 0.33 of an ounce of Citra. I have 0.21 an ounce of Citra and 0.21 an ounce of Mosaic in number 3, and in number 4 I have 0.33 of Mosaic. Gonna go for an IPA style, I guess. For those of you who are curious of what the grain bill of this is, I have 2 row, I've got 48 ounces of that. I have a German Vienna Avogard, I have 5 ounces of that. 10L Caramel, 6 ounces of that. Belgian Special, 3 ounces of that. Honey Malt, 6 ounces. Cara Amber, 3 ounces. And Cara Foam, 4 ounces. And if you're curious how I came up to this, I don't know. I just put stuff in at the grain store, because that's part of the fun of this, is making things that you've never had before and experimenting to see what you get. I've only been brewing beer since I got the machine in March or April, when this whole pandemic thing started, and I've been enjoying myself much more actually since I got these boxes, and I can just invent things. You know, I haven't made anything that was terrible yet, and the things that have turned out that were terrible, I just let them age, and then they turned out to be okay. So experiment and have fun. Alright, so next, here's my grain, my bag of grain, and I generally find, you know, somewhere between 4.5 and 5.5 pounds of grain fit really nicely in this container. This grain, as you can see, is unmilled, so I'm going to mill it, and then we're going to put it in the grain bag in this filter and set up a brew. Okay, got my grain all milled up into the bucket here. Of course, I put my grain bag in the bucket first to make it easy. So, I'm going to pull the grain bag out of the bucket very carefully. I'm going to place it into the grain box right here. I'm going to open up the top, make sure I've got all the good stuff out of the bucket. Grain bag's a bit obtuse, it's been used a lot. You can tell it used to be white. Alright, so what I like to do, I like to try to get the grain down into the corners of the box. Put my hand down inside on each of the corners just to make sure it gets down there. I think it just helps to make it drain a little better. Even off the top of the grain on top. I'm going to tie it up. Now I like to take the grain bag and I wrap it around this, same as the hop bags, a few times. Just put my finger through. Bring it through and tighten it up a couple of times. So it's a slip knot and I can get it off easy after. That'll hold it. And again, being a little bit of a neat freak, I do like to take this and poke it off down the side here. That just gives me a nice even surface on top. So, let's load it up. We have our step filter. Yes, I know my step filter is pretty stained up, but you know what? These stains come off with a magic sponge if you do it every now and then, but I'm not going to do it for this. There's the hop bin and the cradle. I'm going to put that on the edge here. Make sure it's in nice and lined up. Remember, with this grain bin, the filter goes to the inside. I'm going to drop this right on down here. Oops, it's getting caught on the front of the grain. There we go. drop that in, line it up so it doesn't move. Make sure everything is in line. Put my lid on. That's it. Now we set it up as a normal, like any other pico pack or any other brew. We'll do that in just a moment.